So, Iceborne is coming to PC pretty soon, and I thought in the spirit of things I'd do a video detailing some of the things that I wish I'd known when first starting. As you can see, this is the new map, the Hoarfrost Reach, and there will be light spoilers in this video of course. It's quite cold and covered in snow. Anyone who's played any of the previous installments of the franchise will know that that means you need to take hot drinks with you. I have one in my inventory right now. You can see by the downwards arrows next to my stamina bar that I'm suffering and that stuff's gone now. Essentially what happens is your stamina bar will decrease over time and get smaller and smaller and smaller, and it is really tedious. You can gather hot drinks by gathering the hot peppers that you'll find sprinkled around the map. However, you won't be able to start with them and you will need to build up a bit of a supply. I would recommend you very early on, the moment you get back to the base area, buy as many as you can. And you can purchase them. I remember I streamed my first experience with the game, and for like several hours I kept reminding myself to buy them but never actually getting around to it, and I suffered for it immensely. So yeah, make sure you bring a decent amount of food. Bring null berries too, because a lot of the monsters in this area can infect ice blight. You can see one in the background there, but I won't spoil too much. And also, you can see my movement speed is quite hampered when I move through this thick snow. You might want to bring the skill Polar Mobility. It's the aquatic mobility skill from Base World, I believe. It sort of reduces this effect so you don't get slowed down when walking in the terrain. The next thing I wish I'd known is just how powerful some of the new moves are, and in fact most of them. I'd kind of assumed they'd all just be gimmicky and annoying to use, so I stuck with my base world playstyle. However, a lot of the weapons got really good upgrades to their kit. The Insect Glaive, for example, got a pole vault move that's really powerful and great for covering distances, which I'll show you now. And it's even better when you actually have triple up in the buffs. You can combo out of it too. Great Sword, for instance, can use a Slinger Burst in the middle of its attacks, and you've probably seen all the footage of this already, but I thought I'd mention it anyway, and go straight into True Charge, which is pretty crazy. And going back to Insect Glaive, because I don't want to spoil too many of the new movesets, as you can see my bug is doing 38 damage, it's got a decent sort of elemental. I can now charge it using Slinger Ammo, which is a new move, and it does a whole bunch more damage. Every weapon has gotten really cool overhauls like this, and you should definitely try out the new ones for your preferred weapon classes, instead of just writing them off as gimmicks. And obviously the new claw mechanics in general are really good too. The Clutch Claw, the Tenderize, and the Wall Bang, which you won't be able to see here, but yeah, they're just generally really powerful and you shouldn't ignore them like I did. The next thing that I didn't really do, you can see my defense on this sort of pretty generic Ice Charge Blade set is 479. For a long time I kind of just held out on making any new armor because I thought Draken and my old Gamma armors sets would be more DPS, and they were more DPS. However, the upgrade you can get from Bone Alpha straight away, basically right at the start of the game, especially if you're struggling on any of the monsters, makes an enormous difference. You can see this is fully upgraded Kaiser, and here I have unupgraded, just it's not even crafted, Bone Helm, and it's immediately 20 defense more. You make all 5 pieces of those and you're coming up to 600 defense. And as you upgrade it, it becomes even more significant. And the thing is, even though defense has never made that much of a difference, it's quite, like, you will notice the difference. I didn't go for it initially because the difference has never been super huge, but it really does make a massive... I don't know if they've scaled defense weirdly to make it happen or what, but the upgrade, just moving on to a master rank set, is genuinely quite significant. So if you find yourself struggling, that's something you should definitely consider doing. Just making Bone Alpha or whatever armor set you feel like. I don't even know what this point is. Make armor is, just don't write off new armor for as long as I did. Oh, by the way, the next couple of points are going to spoil the new base. I've been trying to hold off on spoilers like that for most of the video. So click off now if you're holding out for that. So this is the Steamworks full guide on my channel if you're interested. I'll hopefully have linked it somewhere. It's a minigame where you can sort of convert your excess resources into consumable items. I spent a lot of time in the early game farming these Dragon Vein shards and trying to automate it, and I even have a video of that method on my channel. But I regret it big time. It was such a huge waste of time, because as you reach later game, you have more fuel than you know what to do with because of the sort of later sources of fuel, the Dragon Vein coal chunks and those items. And it was just sort of a big waste of time. So don't spend too much time in the early game farming the Dragon Vein shards, unless you need the items from the Steamworks urgently. And the problem with that is all it really offers you are these consumables. The Celestial Wyverian prints are slim to none chance of dropping. They're extremely rare, and so I wouldn't bank on getting them, except through the Overdrive bonus, which I'll mention in a second. The only real rare drop here that you want are the Steam tickets, which shouldn't take too long. But yeah, unless you really need those Steam tickets or these resources, I wouldn't spend too much time here, and so I wouldn't really spend too much time farming for the fuel either. Regarding the Celestial Ovarian Prince, the Overdrive bonus version of them at least, you can get once per week. It resets when your weekly bounties reset, so be sure to come back here on a weekly basis. But aside from that, don't waste your time with Steamworks in my opinion. And definitely don't waste your time in the early game farming Dragon Vein shards. Okay, look, don't laugh at me about this last one, because I'm going to make a better point in a second. But it took me like 40 hours to realize that the botanical research guy was sitting here, and the shop guy, and obviously he does Argosy too, and the shopkeeper guy is over here. I genuinely had no clue. Whenever I wanted to buy stuff, I'd go to the Gathering Hub or back to Astera. So familiarize yourself with the fact that these guys are here. Don't waste your time going back and forth for no reason. Resource centers up here, although this was a lot harder to miss. That said, I did want to make a slightly more relevant point, which is the fact that the Gathering Hub is so good, which I'll show you in a second. So, this is the new Gathering Hub, and I should mention straight off the bat that you can just pick up your assigned and optional quests and just do them here. You don't have to only do multiplayer here, so it's a good thing to keep in mind. But yeah, we have the Botanical Research guy over here, we have the shopkeeper over here, we have the lady who does the resource center stuff, so bounties and investigations at the back. You have your quest and your arena gals at the front over there. You got your central kitchen, and through this door over here, and you can even come to here while you've got a quest that you're readying up for. You can create armors and weapons and visit the armory and that kind of thing. So yeah, you have basically everything you need in the Gathering Hub. It's super convenient. Everything is really tightly located. And once you've gotten maybe a little bit bored of Celiana, the new area, there's no reason not to just post your quests from here, especially if you're online, because maybe we can get these Gathering Hubs actually populated again outside of siege time. So yeah, the new Gathering Hub is really good, and the NPCs did all come over, so you don't need to go back and forth between Astera and Celiana. Oh, be sure to max out your cat's Palico equipment too. They all gained a new level cap. They can all go up to 15 now, I believe, and they all gain a new ability once you get there. The Plunder Blade, for example, can drop a bunch of trading items with this Mountain Plunder move. The Healing item has a move where it just gives you a free res if you die. So yeah, they're quite powerful. So if there's any Palico equipment that you use a lot of, you should definitely get it up to level 10 and then get ready to level it up to 15 when Iceborne comes out. Yeah, I wish I'd done that sooner myself, especially Plunder Blade. And I think that basically covers everything I wanted to say. My 5 or maybe 6 things that I genuinely wish I'd known when starting Iceborne. I tried not to fill it with garbage. I remember when Iceborne first came out, there were a whole bunch of articles that were like, oh, here's the things you need to do to prepare for Iceborne. And it was just the most stupid shit. Like, oh, I don't know, do the quests, beat the game, have some fun. And it was like, okay, I wanted some actual useful information. So hopefully I've given you that. Hopefully this hasn't been just filler bullshit. Hopefully you found this useful, and I hope you enjoy your time with Iceborne. Take it easy. Bye-bye.